Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to Tim's Got a YouTube channel. Um, Queen of England passed away yesterday at 96 years old. 70 years of service. Uh, People are taking it hard. People in my family take it hard. My family's originally from Barbados. Uh, Gained their independence from England in 1966. We just became our own country in 2021. Thank you, Rihanna. We needed that Rihanna bump to get there. So the Queen passes away at 96, 70 years of service. She gets brought into this situation kind of on accident. Clearly, there's supposed to be a man that's ideal for those times and what they wanted. Her uncle, who would have been next in line, decided he was going to marry out of the family. Kind of pulled a Prince Harry on everybody. And boom, dad dies. She's Queen of England. At a very young age, she started making comments, very diplomatic. But the argument is, what is the validity? What does the royal family bring to the table? Some say it's tourist money. Some say it's land. A lot of that's false. They don't pay taxes. Actually, the taxes in the country assist them. If you weren't aware, it was England, man. This was one of the greatest empires of all time. Jamaica, Barbados, all of those are British colonies. They didn't get their independence until, like I said, 1966. So, and they became a republic last year, dude. Last year they became a republic, which means that the Queen of England was still the governing body in Barbados. There's a lot of accountability and responsibility that is being doled out here in America. Truth of the matter is, between India and Africa, the British kind of spearheaded the slavery movement. Yes, there were Spaniards, yes, there were French, but the true power, because of course you had empires at that time, there was the Ottoman, there was the Roman, there was the English Empire, the American Empire, the Chinese Empire. Like, these are people that ran the world for a number of centuries. They had a lot of control, and like as they say, every empire shall fall. So, that's what happens. My family has a very personal connection with the royal family, mainly because my mother, her grandparents, things like that, parents, they only knew British rule. If you go to Barbados right now, the wealthy are still mostly white people. It's very hard for people to comprehend that. But Barbados is also known as Little England. That's where you went when you wanted to take a little break from the hustle and bustle of London. You go to Barbados to go relax and have all the black people serve you. Same philosophy or ideals as apartheid. You came to another person's country that was already occupied, and then somehow through teachings and economic status and a bunch of other things, you have demoted the culture that you want to exist among. It's got a very apartheid would be this world's first taste of gentrification. Apartheid would be like if you gentrify a whole country, and then criminalize them, make them feel as though they are lesser than. Happened in South Africa, where the people, how is it that you live in a country and then once somebody enters your country, you become the minority? Do you understand how fucking asinine and ridiculous that is? So I'm sorry for the royal family's loss. I know that Queen Elizabeth was a big, she was a big deal. She was in power for 70 years, 26. She's been the Queen of England since she was 26 years old. And mind you, England doesn't have a fucking queen. They don't have a king. These are all figureheads. There's a parliament, just like we have a Congress and a Senate. There are people who vote and make decisions. Yes, the queen has influence, and you have to address her for ceremonial approval, but it's an old lady with a bunch of land and a lot of money. Her parents and her lineage fucking trafficked human beings. That's how every great empire got its wealth. Let's quit being foolish. You don't go around making a society that flourishes and succeeds and grows on a regular basis if you don't have your thumb on somebody else. You can't build a bunch of shit, have it work, have people work that shit. If you don't do that for free, if you don't get these people for free now, is what I'm talking about. You need free labor to make these things happen. It's been proven time and time again throughout the course of history. So let's not fool ourselves. Yes, we are allies. No wonder we're allies with England. We got a lot in common. We learned everything that we do from them. The white people were tired of being oppressed over in England, so they came over here and started oppressing other brown people, i.e. the Native Americans. So, and listen, man, my mom is British. You know, my family, most of my family lives in England or Barbados. And they pay the same reverence that they always have to the Queen and to the royal family. Clearly over there, and I talk to my cousins and things like that, but clearly over there, there is a generational gap between what you think the royal family should be doing and what you think the royal family should not be doing. If you're over the age of 55, you have no problem with the royal family. It's just business as usual. But if you're a taxpayer and you're building a new family and you're worried about your legacy and things like that, well, then I can imagine it being extremely frustrating. There's nothing you can do about it, but it's gonna be very, very frustrating. To me, it's like if a bunch of people just lived in the Smithsonian, right? Like, there's a bunch of people who just live in this big ass house. They've got servants, they've got drivers. They've got dudes with tall hats that don't move for no fucking reason at all. But that's the culture. And that's what they've built up. They have, they owned all those islands, man. All those islands were occupied by upstanding, regular island folk. And then they came in with their guns and their anger and their colonization. And that's what they did. And it took them 400 years to offer us that independence. Now, something to be said, they have Prince Charles, Prince William, Prince Harry, have all denounced the slavery mentality that came with the royal families, reputation. So it can be said that they were the catalyst for ownership in this world. They made it normal. Yes, slavery has always been around. Egyptians, yes. Everybody go to the Bible. Yes, and motherfuckers slaves. That's how you get shit done. That is how you get shit done. If you only have to pay people in food, water, and ass whoopings, you can build some shit. You can build some shit. And you can cast a shadow across a culture for generations upon generations upon generations. I'm never upset. I'm never happy about the loss of life. The lady died. Her family's going to miss her. It's a fucking tragedy for her. They're the royal family. Like, they're already trying to fucking start the coronation. That bitch died. They already started making plans to put my man King Charles, Prince Charles, in the king position. King Charles, as it is right now. So, no one gives a fuck. The bitch was 96. She's shaking hands with people all over the world 10, 20 times over. It's like when they said Betty White died of COVID-19. Can't. Not possible. You died. You were 99 years old. You almost lived for 100 years, nigga. You didn't die from COVID-19. You died from 99, nigga. That's what it is. Now, let's be clear. That's my joke. We'll talk about that later. We're not going to get into all that. I'm pretty sure that's why people take your jokes on tour, but they don't take you on tour. You know, shit like that. I've always loved that joke. Yeah, man, it sucks that she's dead. I know my mom, my aunts were all very devastated when Diana died, but she was a part of the royal family in a way that was distant. Harry has kind of done that same thing that his mother did with Meghan to that capacity. Princess Diana was so beautiful. She was so caring. You know, it was kind of funny. I remember living in the 80s and, you know, there were these good people and honestly, it was fucking Mother Teresa and Princess Diana. Like, those were the two motherfuckers that were walking around Africa and every other fucking place where barefooted children were eating shitty water and making a difference. She passed that on to her boys, Princess Diana. And I think that's amazing. But we also have to recognize that they're connected to slavery. And slavery's not right. No one is okay with slavery. If you said slavery right now to somebody, they'd be like, that shit is abhorrent. It is fucking appalling. There's no way that anybody should ever take another human being and just make them do shit. That shit happened all the time. It sounds crazy to us now because we're independent people and we have thoughts and we speak and we have information. But without that information, somebody comes at you in a big boat with guns and shit you never seen before, and they talk to people who are in charge, who are your people, who are corrupt, and they make these deals behind your back, and then you turn around and 200 years later, you're speaking their language, you're eating their food, and you've lost all sense of culture. So, God save the Queen. Yeah. Now I guess we just gotta wait for Joe Biden to go on and kick the bucket. If the Queen is 96, Joe's got to be 103. So let's see if we can't get a do not resuscitate on Joe Biden. That's not cool. I feel like I'm gonna get tagged for that one. It was a joke, YouTube. It was a joke. But my condolences go out to the royal family. I'm sure they'll never watch this or give a fuck. Anybody who loses a loved one should be able to grieve. But I know we're making a big movement over here in America about getting rid of the monuments and the examples of hate and discrimination and slavery out of sight. It's kind of weird because you don't know how to take it. Because in one circle, minorities and brown people in this country are very upset about critical race theory and the whitewashing of history, I believe is how they're describing it. The whitewashing of history. There's an argument there that if you don't want history to be wiped out, why are you so adamant about knocking down these monuments and statues and other symbols of true American history? No one's brought that up. I find it to be a really, really awkward. It's hard to make that argument. It's hard to want to keep the history in the books, but not want to see it on the street. You got to be careful for what you ask for. And I can tell you right now, if I was a powerful white man that was from the South and I saw you destroying monuments and historical artifacts to get the sight of racism to keep it out of your eye line. But you want to keep the racism in the children. So it's okay for the kids to look at it, but it's not okay for you to look at it. They got to come to a common ground on that shit because it's super confusing and it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. So, I don't know what to do. I think that there's got to be a common ground, or we got to have real conversations. If we don't have real conversations, then we're fucking each other over, man, because that's how pettiness grows. You're petty. That's what happens. You're a petty motherfucker. And then somebody says something and they give you an out. Sometimes you don't have an out, and these motherfuckers give people an out. You say you don't want Robert E. Lee or all these angry fucking slave owners on Stone Mountain. You say you don't want monuments at fountains in front of courthouses or something like that. Well, if you don't want them in front of courthouses representing the view of your state, your city, or your community, that's one thing. But destroying them and getting them out of here is just like critical race theory. It's just like that argument of saying, I don't want people to see this because it's the truth. Now, how you look at the truth and how somebody else looks at the truth, the interpretation of those things are miles apart. You talk to people from the South, they say that it's heritage, it's legacy, it's family. You talk to somebody who used to get their ass whooped, they say your family used to beat my ass and they used to beat my family's ass and they kept us in captivity. So, two different sides of the story. You know, to some people it was a fantastic boat ride, but for the niggas paddling, you see what I'm saying? So, we just got to be mindful of stuff like that, man. You just got to be mindful of stuff like that. You can't want something to die on one side and then keep that same argument alive on another. It's difficult. It's hard. Maybe you can. I don't know how to do it. If you know how to do it, then let me know. But I don't know how to do it. It seems very difficult. And people have been doing it for fucking ever, and they're not getting any results. No decent ones, at least. Seems like there's more divisiveness, division, more anger, more conspiracies, more doubt, less love. There's all these things that we keep failing at. So let's have a conversation. Let's figure it out. Let's get our smartest people in the room. And no, you're not one of the smartest people in the room. Neither am I. Let's get the smartest people in the room who've done the research, who know the stats, who understand the consequences. Yeah, that's it. Y'all have a good day. Like, subscribe, share. What else? What else should you be doing? Love somebody, man. Go and fucking give somebody a hug. Tell them you love them. Remember birthdays. Don't just send birthday wishes when your Facebook pops up. I do it. I only got like 4-5 birthdays in my head that I know for real. All you other niggas are just getting, those are all notifications. Those are notification birthdays. No one here is doing that. All right, y'all have a great day.